Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's sports podcast. It's Friday, the 6th of August 2021, and we've got lots to get through today. We don't know where to start, really, but I think we should probably start with the Olympics simply because of the fact that we've had a lot of medal success. Team GB had a lot of medal success, and the event comes to a close, I think, today. I think the closing ceremony is maybe today. But we've done really well. As it stands, Team GB have got 16 gold medals, 18 silver medals, and 18 bronze medals, with at least one more to come in either a silver or a gold in the boxing. So if we do get another gold, we're currently 6th in the medal table, so we could actually move up to 4th because we've got more silvers than Australia, and Republic have got 17 at the moment, and China have got the same as the Republic of China. What about? The same as got 16 gold medals, so we go past them as well to become probably one of the most successful games that we've had. Realistically, we've been pretty well, haven't we, in the Olympics in recent times. You could argue about the funding for some of the sports, saying that some should get more and others should get less. We were discussing this with one of my friends yesterday, but we've done really well overall. Some new sports as well have come into the equation, such as skateboarding, and BMXing has come to the forefront a little bit as well. So we've done really, really well, I've got to say, and I think we should be proud of what our athletes have achieved. Some of the highlights being the poor Adam Peaty getting his goals, and the lad Dean getting his goals as well. And they've done well in the equestrian, and like I said, some of the new sports we've done well in. And by the way, when I said about the fifth team of the fifth, it's the Russian competitors who aren't allowed to compete under their flag are in 5th place in the table at the moment, so we can pass them. Although I don't know really what it means because they're not really representing the country, are they? Because they're not representing Russia anymore. So yeah, done well there. Well done to all the people concerned in all the different sports, and here's to the next one in 3 years' time now, because obviously it's delayed from last year. So look forward to 2024, which I think is in Paris. But I haven't checked that for definite. I'm sure it's where it is though. So yeah, so much to look for next time. Right, so let's move on to football now, and what's been going on in the world of football. Well, there's been all sorts going on in the world of football, especially in the last 24 hours. Our season hasn't started yet. The EFL season starts tonight, actually. Live game on Sky. The first game of the season, Bournemouth against West Brom. Bournemouth now managed by Scott Parker's first game managing them, and first game managing West Brom for Valérien Ismaël. He'll start with West Brom, probably the favourites from a bookie's point of view for the championship title this season. Should be a good match to open the season with. Don't forget the Premier League season starts next weekend, and the National League starts the weekend after that. Talking of the Premier League, Jack Grealish's transfer to Manchester City was completed yesterday for £100 million, a British record. So good luck to Jack at Manchester City. I'm not bitter towards him at all. Some Villa fans probably are, but not for me. He's got to further his career. Good luck to him. I hope he does well and proves to people how good he actually can be. We saw flashes of it for England during the summer in the Euros, but he's capable of being a very good player for Manchester City. I'm sure he won't play every game because of the rotation policy that Pep has, but if Man City do get him and Kane, which we've got Jack already, they're going to be very tough to stop. Even a Liverpool fan I saw on Sky Sports this week was saying that they might go pack up and go home if they get Kane as well as Jack. So keep your eyes on that. But the big story breaking last night was that Lionel Messi will be leaving Barcelona due to the financial plight of the club more than anything else. So he's available. They were talking last night about coming to the Premier League, but personally I think he's more likely to go to PSG, especially after his best friend Neymar posted a picture of him with Lionel and 3 or 4 of his other friends who all play for PSG on a photo. So I think that's probably a likely destination for him. But again, keep your eyes on the press for what happens with that story. It's obviously developing all the time as we speak. In terms of other football, FC Halifax Town made another couple of signings this week. They signed Jordan Slew, who's played a lot of league football. He hasn't scored a lot of goals across his career, but he's got quite a good reputation from what I've been reading about him. So welcome to the club, Jordan, and he joins Mark Warburton, who we signed last weekend. He's been a player on our radar for some time. He's been in and around our division for quite some time. He's a very good player. I'd like to have seen us. We've been linked with him before, and I'd like to have seen us sign him before, but we've got him now. So they join The two previous signings of Billy Waters and Harvey Gilmore, so we've got 4 new players. Town beat Guiseley in a friendly on Tuesday night 2-1 at Nethermoor. Not really sure we should read much into these results. I never do normally, and they've not scored any goals till then. Got a friendly away to Fylde tomorrow. That's the last scheduled official friendly, but I'm sure we'll play some behind closed doors against other teams that perhaps we won't find out about until they've been played. But the season starts on the 21st at home to Maidenhead. Season tickets ordered as well, so that's good news. So looking forward to going back to the Shane, seeing Town play and do well hopefully this season. We always have as doubters, but that's just the way it is at our level, because we haven't got as much money as some of the other clubs such as Chesterfield and Wrexham and Stockport. We get forgotten about sometimes, but I hope we can punch above our weight again and be up there challenging for the playoffs, if not the title itself. So come on, Town, you can do it. Okay, so let's talk about cricket. Local cricket we'll start with. First of all, a couple of stories not directly linked to it. Well, first one's something I didn't know about last Friday when I did our podcast, but last Saturday Simon Collins made his 400th career appearance for Bradshaw, and that's a great achievement for Simon. His career's, like I said to him in a tweet, there's plenty of time in his career left yet to still achieve more things. I'm sure he'd have liked to have had a better result last weekend in the game, but we'll come on to that in a moment. And also I'd like to mention congratulations to Thornton on beating Booth in the Parish Cup final last Sunday. We don't really cover non-league games on this podcast, but obviously it's one of the main events of the summer, so congratulations to those guys on winning that tournament. It's like the Halifax Cricket League version of the FA Cup, so well done Thornton. Looking back at last weekend's fixtures and results now, and starting with Bradshaw, they'll be disappointed with the results last weekend. They went down to Booth. Booth basically claiming their fairly comfortable victory in the end, I suppose. They won by 3 wickets, so they got 11 points to Bradshaw's 5. Bradshaw made 188 for 7, and in that innings for Bradshaw, we saw Chris Shannon score 51. Simon Collins got 35, and Charlie Holt Conway contributed with 34 not out, and Zane Chisty also scored 30. So there were some decent contributions there with the bat, but when it came to the ball, Booth won by 3 wickets. Like I said, scored 189 for 7, and it was Rob Laycock with 54, and Wajid got 53. Jolly Lister did his best for Bradshaw with 4 for 46, but it wasn't quite enough. So a bit of a disappointing result there for Bradshaw, but some performances there to take heart from. Sorby Bridge will be disappointed with their performance in the derby against SBCI. They were convincingly beaten. 123 all out Sorby Bridge, and Sorby Bridge or SBCI knocked the total off with 1 wicket down, so 127 for 1, so a 9 wicket victory for them. They take 12 points and Sorby Bridge only get the 1 point, so they were disappointed there. For Sorby Bridge, there weren't really any contributions at all with the bat. James Holdsworth scored 24 and Jake Dixon scored 22. And then Thomas Wood took 4 wickets for 23 for SBCI, and then with a bat he also scored 42. Simon Woods got 27, and it was Schofield at the top of the order with 50, unbeaten 50 not out, which saw them home comfortably in this match. So that's what happened there. In the other games from last weekend, Copley beat Triangle by 6 wickets. Illingworth St Mary's and Worley, well, in that one, Illingworth St Mary's came out on top. They got 11 points, Worley got 2. Myvenroyd and Thornton in that game, Thornton scored 228 for 8, and Myvenroyd knocked it off with just over 3 overs left. They got 231 for 4, so they take 11 points to Thornton's 4. And in the final game to look back at last weekend, Blackley beat Shelf by 6 wickets. Shelf 122 all out, disappointing score there. Blackley 124 for 4, so an easy victory for them really. Looking forward to this weekend. Not sure what the weather forecast is like this weekend. The last couple of days haven't been so great, so I'm hoping it won't be terrible tomorrow. But the fixtures are as follows: Blackley are at home to SBCI, Booth are at home to Illingworth St Mary's, Sorby Bridge play Bradshaw. So the game I'll be looking to most interest with tomorrow is that one down there at Sorby Bridge. Thornton against Shelton North Farm Hedgetop. Triangle against Mythenroyd, and finally Worley against Copley. So yeah, the game of Sorby Bridge and Bradshaw is the one I'll have my concentrating on tomorrow. So good luck to both sets of players. I hope it's a good game and hope the weather doesn't spoil it, like I've already mentioned. Moving away from local league cricket now to talk about international cricket, and Joe Root surpassed the record for top test run scorer for England yesterday, surpassing Alistair Cook's record. So congratulations to Joe. He'll be hoping that he can get England team back into the game today on day 3 at Trent Bridge against India. It was a poor start. They won the toss, chose to bat, were skittled out for 183, and it was actually Joe himself who got 64, and 29 from Bairstow, 27 from Crawley. They were the only real scorers. I think Curran got 20 as well. Sam Curran got 20 plus. But the big talking point was the fact that he chose to go. Obviously, Ben Stokes has taken an indefinite break from cricket. I don't think I covered that actually. That's something that come out in the last few days, or just before the test. So Ben Stokes is out indefinitely. So he went without a spinner, and that's been questioned quite a bit. Other question marks with regards to the batting lineup were Dan Lawrence has scored 3 ducks in the last 4 tests, and Dom Sibley didn't really offer a lot, and he scored a duck, and he's struggling a bit, and I think he might be for the chops, to be honest with you. I know friends of mine that support Warwickshire, I'm thinking of Mike Jakeman, and he'll say how good he is, but he's struggled a bit, and maybe could do with a rest from the team, maybe put Asim Hamid in, but not sure he'll do that, but we'll see. Depends on the outcome of this game. Long way to go yet. Weather not great again forecast for this, so will it be a draw? Injury will be disappointed if you don't get a victory after such a good start, but it's a long way to go yet in this 5-match series, so keep your eyes peeled and see what's going on in that game, because there could be plenty of action to come yet. The 100 is still going on at the moment in the background there. I've watched a few of the games. The weather disrupted last night's game between Manchester Originals and Southern Brave. Only 71 balls or 70 balls were managed last night by the Originals before the game was abandoned. But the Northern Superchargers had a good victory overnight against London Spirits, who have failed to win a game so far. They've only got 1 point from an abandoned game where they shared the points. So the final's not too far away. It's a couple of weeks now. I didn't realise the final's actually at Headingley on the 21st of August. So there's probably still tickets available for that as well, but not sure. I'll just watch that on TV because I'm not that interested really. Next we're going to talk about Rugby League, and this week the Rugby League World Cup has been postponed until 2022 because of the fact that Australia and New Zealand have pulled out. It made it a bit of a mockery, in my opinion. In principle, perhaps we should have gone ahead with it without them, because we've got players over here that could have played for Australia and New Zealand, already playing in Super League. They've got some strange rules going on. I think the NRL in Australia didn't realise they'd get such a backlash against them when they pulled out of the tournament. Some of the players saying that they were born in different countries and may well go and play for Tonga or Papua New Guinea instead of playing for Australia or New Zealand. New Zealand would be decimated if they lost all the players to those countries. So we need to bear that in mind for future reference. But I suppose in hindsight the best decision would be for it to be played next year with all the teams in it. Otherwise it just devalues it, waters down the quality of the games, and people possibly wouldn't want to go and watch the lesser teams anyway without the top two countries in the world taking part. So that's what's going on there. In the domestic rugby league, Halifax had a really good win against Bradford Bulls on Sunday. They beat them 24-21. A very close game, settled in the last few minutes. So we're up to third in the table at the top, so in front of Bradford, and at the top of the table, Toulouse won comfortably at Featherstone. They were both unbeaten until Sunday, but Toulouse beat Featherstone convincingly at Post Office Road, I'm going to call it, because that's the proper name, not this stupid sponsor's name. And now Halifax have the next game at home to Newcastle Thunder on Sunday, and then the following weekend they're away in Toulouse on the Saturday evening at 6 p.m. So that'll be a really, really tough game. If they can get another win on the board this Sunday, it'll put them in good heart for the big match the following weekend. In the Super League, Catalans are still at the top, and they just keep winning and winning. They had another win on Monday. I think they beat Hull, and then St Helens beat UKR. They're chasing. They're both winning Hull. They're both away Monday evening, and both in Hull. And they both won. So, but they're chasing them. But Catalans show no signs of weakness or slipping up at this stage. But at the end of the day, as long as you're in that playoff spot, it doesn't really matter. You can win the trophy for being the top of the league table, but the big game is going to be at Old Trafford in October, no doubt, when they're in the Super League Grand Final. Where in the past teams that finished lower down the leagues have actually gone to win it because they're in form at the time. So anything can happen in that. So just keep your eyes peeled on what's going on in the world of rugby league. They're all the main stories from this week. In the world of Speedway, the next 2 rounds of the Speedway GP are this weekend, tonight and tomorrow in Lublin in Poland. After 4 rounds, last weekend saw a double victory in Wrocław for Bartosz Marslik, the reigning world champion. So he's closed the gap on the joint leaders after last weekend's 2 victories. Maciej Janowski and Artem Laguta are both on 66 points after last weekend's rounds, but Smarslik's now closed the gap. He's on 63, and then there's a gap back to Emil on 58. Emil Saifunov's on 58, Freddie Lindgren on 50, Ty Wolfman on 44, and Liam Madsen on 44. Those 7 are clear. So in terms of the qualifying standings, you're looking at those riders really, and you've got Martin Vasilich, Max Frick, Jason Doyle, and Robert Lambert all scrapping for 8th place. Robert Lambert performed pretty well last weekend. He was unlucky on a Friday when he touched the tapes in his semi-final, and then on a Saturday he actually got to the semi-final again and finished 4th. Ty wasn't very good on the Friday night. He didn't even make the semi-finals, but on the Saturday evening he made the final, although he did finish last, but he got 14 points, so it's improved his in the standings. With regards to the other riders, Matis Agar's struggling. Anders Thompson's doing okay, he's actually got in the mix. Oliver Bernson and Crispus Kasperjak, I should be able to say that by now, really struggling. They haven't got double figures. In fact, Gleb Chuganov, the wild card, has scored as many points as Bernson and won more than Kasperjak, and he's only ridden in 2 rounds and they've ridden in 4. So in Jan Kvek, the wild card, he's also got 7. So 2 of the wild cards have scored as many as 2 of the riders who've been all 4 rounds. That's really poor. Be qualified, what can you say if he got through the system? But they just aren't good enough to be in it. I think Matis Agar's coming towards the end now. He's been a good rider, but I think he's getting past his best now, unfortunately for him. But the rest of the riders, they certainly merit the place in the tournament. And like I say, this weekend hopefully we'll see some good racing at Lublin, the first Grand Prix. With regards to domestic speedway, it's still a 3-way battle at the top of the league between Bellevue, Wolves and Peterborough. Bellevue had a comfortable victory against Ipswich on Monday night. I had the pleasure of seeing. I was there. Dan Bewley scored a fantastic and easy 15-point maximum, and Brady Kurtz putting in one of his best performances so far. I think they both had engines from Poland with them, so they've copied the lead taken by Sam Masters of Wolves and bringing the Polish engine over. And Kurtz got 11 and 2. So generally, both the Worrells also rode really well. Steve looked more like his old self on Monday. So it's good to see him doing better than he has been doing previously, and yeah, that's good news. So let's see how it goes for those top 3 teams in the league, but I think they're the one. And Sheffield look like they might secure the 4th and final playoff spot now, because they had a good victory against Kings Lynn on Monday night. A comfortable victory really, good performance in that one from Jack Holder making his comeback, and also Josh Pickering scoring 12 in the bonus, so that's a good performance from him. Probably a track he hasn't ridden that often, so well done to Sheffield on that victory. So going to round off this week's podcast by talking about stock cars, and it's the second semi-final of the World Championship tomorrow evening at Skegness. 70 plus cars are booked in for the meeting. In the first semi-final last Saturday at Kings Lynn, there was a comfortable victory for Craig Finnegan. The one big surprise and talking point was the failure to qualify of Frankie Wayman Jr. He will get another chance to qualify in the consolation semi-final on Sunday the 29th of this month at Sheffield, so don't count him out yet. Bearing in mind what's happened so far at Oddsall this season, where the final's going to be held on Saturday the 11th of September, there could be a lot of carnage. It might be a benefit actually to start right at the back of the grid and work your way through the field, or avoid all the things that's going on in front of him. So yeah, it should still. I think he might still qualify, but yeah, good result for Craig Finnegan. Tomorrow night's semi-final sees Tom Harris and Ryan Harrison as the main protagonists. Also, former world champion Nigel Green is in this one as well. So let's see how he gets on. I think Mick Sorder's in this one as well. He did actually race on Saturday at Kings Lynn. Maybe as a warm-up to get the blood of cobwebs away. So it'll be interesting to see if he can make it through to the final as well, because he certainly could cause some carnage around Oddsall, having not raced there so far, and he's all action style. So yeah, the results of the second semi-final will be interesting, and I'll be back with more on that next weekend. I'll be back with more on everything else next weekend. and we'll be looking at the start of the Premier League season next weekend as well, because the first match is next Friday. Brentford and Arsenal are the first TV match, and it's the first game of the season. So until then, I'd like to say thank you for watching, and it's goodbye till then.